Camber Eagles were a powerhouse in the main league.
Yeah, 2 years ago, they relegated last season. West Ham has a better forward line.
You are going to bring West Ham
Because it is last year, no, our worst season ever. Your worst season ever. So we are assuming this is not going to be your worst season ever.
No, we're missing.
Vincent are not confident when they play for you. When they play now, they have space. No.
Hello guys, welcome to another episode of The Half Space, powered by Maxbox Media. I'm Joe, and today I'm joined by a few of my friends. We're not as local as the last episode, but I'm sure we're gonna have a great episode, a great show. On my left, we resident Ten Hag associate or defender.
I'm saying I'm a United fan, not Ten Hag.
Okay, United fan,
Yeah.
Dominic.
Yeah.
Yes, and on me right, I get Cami from Real Madrid.
Yep.
And representing for joining me on the show today. And yeah, so for get started, I'm thinking it don't be the international break and a few games have played. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on the, I'm going to start with you, Cami. What are your thoughts on the international break so far? Any game though catch your mind, catch your attention, or any player that don't do something way worth noting?
Yep, the international break right now. I feel like one of the highlights na injuries, obviously.
Okay.
Another game where catch my attention are France. France lost.
Okay.
France lost. I don't know which they going with France. Sorry?
Italy played really well, by the way.
True, yeah. And that goal by DeMarco, when I see the goal,
Oh, that was a good goal.
that was actually crazy.
This guy he's very underrated. To be
Well,
honest,
yeah.
I watched him a few times at the Euros, and I haven't seen him that much. But his technique, the way he plays the ball, and I think
Italy might be coming back because I think last Euros they're not go last Euros. Right? Or the Euros before.
They did not.
Last Euros.
Euros before they won it.
Yeah, so at last Euros
But
they
then
don't
this
go.
one they did not.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They might be coming back. Another highlight was obviously Ronaldo's 900 or
goals?
900, 901 goals.
Okay.
And I think saying for each 1,000.
Yo, he's a psycho. I think he'll definitely, the way, looking back on how he's been playing throughout his whole career and the determination he has showed, I think he's definitely capable of reaching 1,000 goals.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We don't know when, but
Yeah, I mean,
definitely would.
3 seasons. I think when he went to Juventus, he scored over 100 goals.
Yeah.
Over 100 goals. And
They
how?
did the math on Sky Sports.
Okay.
It took like 1,000 something days for him to go from 800 to 900. It might take more, it might take less, based on his dedication and age.
And then currently he's playing in Saudi.
Yeah, so maybe that can factor in. And let's see how many international breaks he gets to play against, these teams. And just now, I think his mind is on that. So
Yeah, that's his motivation. 'Cause
Yeah.
I watched on his
YouTube channel.
I watched the show that he did with Rio, and then he was explaining that that's his motivation. I'm motivated to get to one. At first, he was like, the goal is to get to 900, and then to 1,000.
1,000.
Okay.
And it's just 100 goals different. I mean, last season he had the last color season he had 60 something goals in
50
total.
something.
50 something.
Yeah.
Right? And so I just believe that he can, because if he gets 40 or 50 goals this season, and let's say even if he gets 40
At
something
least
goals,
before the next World Cup, or
Yeah.
by the next World Cup, maybe.
and if you're looking at the player, looking at his physical form, you know that Ronaldo can literally play for the next
4 or 5 seasons, yeah, that's true. And obviously on the international break and things that have happened, Arsenal obviously played, I think it was Chad,
No, you mean Leone Stars.
Leone
So that's not.
sorry, my mistake.
Right,
Yeah.
like us now.
Leone Stars obviously played Chad over the weekend, and I think it was a draw, 0-0. I don't know if any of you guys happened to catch
No, I couldn't.
the game, Dominic.
I watched it.
How did you think we performed?
To be honest, in terms of how we played well. I mean, compared to previous matches, because I was impressed with some of his, especially with Augustus Cabo.
Okay.
Because he was playing on the left wing, and there were so many chances that he created from that wing. He was able to beat the defenders one-on-one, a few times. And then there was a ball that was missed. I think it was missed by this guy, Mustafa Bundu. Like he beat the defender and then those crosses. I mean, Bundu was late. To just finish.
Why do you think we were unable to
Win.
to score? Not even win,
I
but
feel like that's
but
the problem
score.
now with because another thing that was clear in that game, that lack of a number 9 presence. Because I think Musa Togo came on in the 60-something minute,
Okay.
and immediately when he came on, you could feel his impact. Because Bundu, for
In
me,
what way?
in
He's-
terms of like we had more chances as
So
the threats to the defenders.
Okay.
Because I mean now you have a number 9 that is actually engaging them.
Yeah. So why is he not starting? Who is starting?
I think Bundu has been played in the 9 role, but for me I feel like Bundu, because even for Plymouth, I think he plays in the 10 position, and so I don't know why he's not starting. But I would love for him to start today, though.
Okay.
Because to be honest, I remember even in 2021, I had a chance to, because I was working with the team when we went to Guinea. And one of the things that was evident, I remember in the training session, because Musa Tomo joined the team late, and when he joined the team at the hotel, and then even for the next training session they had the next day, he wasn't with the initial, he wasn't with the first team that was inside training. But immediately when he came on, you saw his instant impact. He scored like 2 goals. That was like in the training. And right there, I stood there looking at him and I was like, I don't think we have anyone who's as good as this guy.
Okay.
And the number 9. And we saw it also at the AFCON 2020.
Oh, yeah, AFCON, yeah.
I mean, that was 2 years ago, but going off of what you said, I think we play Zambia next.
We play Zambia today.
Yeah, we'll play Zambia. And for the listeners, we're recording on Tuesday the 10th, and we're playing Leone Stars. They play
Zambia.
Chipolopolo of Zambia today. And what do you think our chances against them?
I mean, there was one thing that Issa mentioned the other day, one player that would not be available, I think, what's it called? Patsin Daka.
Yeah.
But I feel like those teams are, in terms of even their playing style and how they play, I feel like, and we're going away. So that's the one problem I have with Leone Stars. The games that we have that are, like those games are our home matches, and you have to win them. Because, I mean, in Africa, you could tell that there is, the fans have, there exists influence.
We're involved, yeah.
And all. So I think coming away with a draw will be a good result for us. Okay. I just don't see us winning. The fact that we're struggling to score goals and now we're going away, even if Patsindaka is not there, but Chipolopo, they've won the Nations Cup, they've won the AFCON.
Yeah.
So, and then over the years, they've had like better players than we have. So I think the best result for me would be a draw.
I mean,
And this is for AFCON qualifiers, yes.
Yeah, 2025 with Morocco.
Okay. I mean, looking back on Salon and my history with watching Salon over the last almost years, well, I know we get a great chance for win, but we most likely get, after the game, we most likely get for year things like, we may get chance for win,
It's always the same
waiting,
story.
almost so. But yeah, but on the international break as well, I don't follow England for a while, and one of the people that maybe actually think say Southgate.
It's coming home.
No, not
Should
even.
go.
Yeah, I
Should
think
go,
say we need for go. And right now with the interim coach, I think it's Lee Carsley. He played well. His brand of football, I think, is better than Southgate's, because I think he won the under-19 or under-21 Euros with the young lions. Yeah, Gomez, Palmer,
Gibbs White.
And I remember watching England during that tournament, and they looked really, really well. They were fluid in attack, and yeah, they played some exciting football. Some of which I hadn't seen under Southgate. So, as a full England fan, I'm hoping we improve under him. And I'm not saying I think we should keep Lee Carsley, because if you ask me, I think Klopp would be a good fit, but I don't think say Klopp.
I think that's very unrealistic. I don't think so, Klopp.
Yeah, I don't think say Klopp go want for take the job right now. I don't give me thoughts on England. Dominic, you get any other thoughts on the international breaks? Do you have a team you look at, you're interested in, that has played?
For me, I've been Nagelsmann's German side.
Kai Havertz. He get for score past Osimhen this season. So, just putting this out there, may man that know.
Turkey.
Go on.
Osimhen has gone to Turkey, by the way.
Goals get for Boko.
Regardless, Havertz get for score pass. Go on.
So yeah, I mean, I think they won their last game 5-2 against
Havertz
Hungary.
score.
Yeah, against Hungary, and tonight they're playing the Netherlands. So it's a match that I'm very much interested in, because the Netherlands as well, they played better against who was it? The last game that they had where they won
5-2.
I guess it was Bosnia.
Yeah.
But in terms of the dynamics, how they played, and even today I saw this guy with Gullit he made some comments about this United player,
Zirkzee, yeah.
Saying he's making the team better because of his link-up play and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was what they were lacking, because even if you look at their performances at the Euros, they were playing well, but the end final third, they were not really, because Memphis was the one playing as a striker. So I think those are the two teams that I'm really interested in. And also, of course, I watched Ronaldo with Portugal. I mean, it's crazy how much when he's not there, when he's not starting. You know, people were saying that Ronaldo kind of like he impedes the team in terms of the way he plays. But when he's not there, you could tell, you could feel his absence. And then when he comes on,
I don't follow Portugal as much, but I don't think having a 39-year-old on their team is the best way to get the best out of the other players. I feel as though taking Ronaldo out of the team will give younger players a chance to.
They've tried it and it did not work. They tried it against Morocco. They were knocked out.
Yeah, but then that was my point. Is that's just one game,
so he means taking him off completely.
Yeah.
So I mean that means it's a similar problem with what we had at United when Ronaldo came. You know, we're doing well, and then when he came, and then there was this the whole thing. So I think Portugal as well, because Portugal, they have a very good side. They have a very good crop of talented
their
players.
coach, is it Martinez?
Roberto Martinez. So I think that's all for me.
So you mentioned Osimhen earlier. We all know what happened with him, his agents, the transfer to Chelsea. He was supposed to be transferred to Saudi Arabia for a huge sum of money for him anyway. But all of that it fell through. What do you guys think about all of that? Was it his fault, his agent's fault? Sorry?
I say he scored for Nigeria the other day.
No, I mean, I'm just saying the whole thing.
Situation.
And because he definitely does not look good. He's not wanted at Napoli. They blacklisted him, obviously. He would not have played this season. So him and his agent needed to find a way out. Chelsea wanted him.
And they were not willing to pay their amount.
That's much. Do you think they asked for too much? Or
on that, I think Napoli were asking for 150 million last year for Osimhen.
65.
Paying that type of player for a player that isn't Haaland doesn't make sense for me. So, and also on the situation.
So what happened?
This
I think after they won the league, he signed the contract.
Yes.
So that basically.
And there was an issue with Crava's agents, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, Yeah.
So I feel like because even with his transfer, with his loan move to Galatasaray, like there's a clause there that can be triggered by January and he can move.
To Galatasaray?
Yeah, he can move if any club shows interest and then...
If any club or if Galatasaray?
No, any club, any other club.
Oh, okay.
So the loan move to Galatasaray, it comes with no obligation or anything.
Okay.
So if any club comes in January, they can activate. And then the clause his release clause has been reduced to 75 million euros.
Good for him.
Right. To put a knock on that, personally, I think Napoli didn't treat him well, but he also overestimated his worth to the team, and it just became a messy situation. And I think moving on from the international break and partly moving on to what happened, the Premier League, and what happened the last round of matches. FPL. I play FPL. Camino, they play FPL. Dominic, they play FPL. Last week, I guess 70 points, which wasn't...
better
the average was 64, and I guess...
So that is small.
Yeah. And I guess 70, which was...
I had 67.
Which was okay. Haaland and me captain.
Same.
Really?
Isaac. In defense, I guess...
I don't say Isaac there for you now, more or less.
But he scored.
In defense, I had Guardiola, Pedro Porro, and Cucurella. Midfield, Saka, Kudus, ASR, and Rogers. And attack, Haaland, Isaac, and Havertz. Looking into the next game week, I don't really think Saga will make much changes because Isaac bag over the international break, I think he scored 4 goals already. Him and Gyökeres have been on.
But who are they playing?
Have been on
Who are they
fire.
playing next?
At Newcastle.
Yeah.
Or they play Wolves next. So I think he's got a
Away though, right?
yeah, he's got an okay chance. So
That's a
I
name.
may look to use my wild card, but it's looking iffy at the
You
moment.
didn't lead any league right now.
Right now,
Personally,
my highest
Mercury.
place is okay. So I used to. There's a league back in Cyprus that I was involved in. I'm currently placed 7th, but that's about it. All the other leagues I've been dropping.
So weird.
Yeah, so weird, basically. Yeah, but yeah, Dominic, how you do FPL and looking forward to the next week?
I'm just like
they look for make any changes.
3 points shy from you.
Who don't I captain for next
of
week?
course.
I'm gonna make half space league when I play.
I think for my lineup, I have like 3 best performers. Haaland was my captain, of course, and then Saka was my vice, but of course he missed a few chances. And I had in goal, Alisson Becker was in goal. He's in goal. He's still in goal. I'm still going to keep him. And then in defense, I had Pedro Porro, Saliba, and Dan Bon. And I had, what was his name? This Chelsea right back, Gusto. Well, I think he had a knock, and so he's out. So
He's injured.
yeah, he's one player I have to make a change and get someone else to replace him.
Okay.
I had Eze. In midfield, I have Eze, Bruno Fernandes, Gibbs White, and Saka. And then in attack, Haaland, Muniz, this Fulham striker.
Yeah.
And then I had Sagzi.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Is the team going to remain the same?
No, I'm going to make a few changes. Yeah.
Do you have any idea of the changes you're going to make this week?
So I'm going to look at it because last week what I was doing, I was just like looking at best performers and also like low price performers. Like those who have been very efficient, but their price tag is very low. And there are a few names that I think I've...
Who do you want in your team right now?
I think I want Wissa.
Instead of
Wissa or Bueno.
who would he be replacing?
He's going to replace
Alan.
Gibbs White.
Gibbs White for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Wissa from Brentford.
Yes.
Congolese, yeah. Because I think he's been very effective so far the past few games.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are my changes.
You haven't got any. Okay, you've got Alisson
Becker
on your team. Okay. Right. Well, I think that covers our FPL section. So moving on, I think we'll take a look at the Game Week 3 results and what happened. Obviously, Arsenal we do against Brighton after a very contentious decision by the ref. Against Declan Rice. I mean, for give me take on the situation, in isolation, it might have been the right decision, but looking at it on a whole and how the game played out from the start of the match, there was an instance in the first half when Pedro Porro,
this guy,
João Pedro, I
yeah.
think he kicked the ball down the line
So basically you're saying
after a...
That's a red card offense, but because of how the game
No,
was
I don't
going,
think it was a red card offense because the ball, the play was in the Brighton half and there was no threat on the Arsenal goal. So
but wasn't that like with the new laws?
No, but then it doesn't really matter. Giving a red card for a game, I don't think it has
second yellow.
Yes, but then if you're giving a second yellow to a player that will lead to a red card, it has to be for something very significant.
Is that a rule? Is that a rule? Because
not a rule.
A yellow should be a yellow.
It's not a rule, but then with football, the way how things are, the decisions that the referee make are highly subjective.
And then I think
because you have to look at the flow of the game. That's part of the reason why a ref wouldn't give a yellow card to a key player in the first minute of a Champions League final game, for example, because he knows that will mess up the flow of the game and stuff. So, being that the moment during the game when the incident happened, it was quite insignificant, being that it was in the Brighton half and Rice blocking the play from, I think it was Veltman.
But he didn't just block the play.
There wasn't anything going to happen from that moment of play.
But I also feel like the Brighton defender also manipulated. Like,
yeah, he did, and
it was
that's
also
why
falling off the reaction. And
Yeah.
all
It's
that.
confusing.
So, yeah,
why
it's
everything
yeah.
was
So
missing.
so on the Brighton game, on Arsenal's perspective, I think we could have won the game because even though Brighton seemed to be on top during that phase of play, I think Arsenal were quite comfortable without the ball. And Brighton hadn't been as penetrative in the first half to cause us any harm. And with the trajectory of the game in that moment, we were able to absorb the pressure from them, and we would have created better chances moving forward. So I think it was rather unfair on Arsenal that we had to receive.
And it showed, like,
and
Brighton
that we had
took over from that point.
Yeah,
and
so
they
it just
eventually scored.
makes for a bad product in my view, because obviously the product being football, being the game being played, and it didn't make for a great spectacle after the red card because it was one-sided. And even though rival
No,
fans,
but it started like
but then even
controlling the game.
but my point is, even though rival fans will say, "Oh, we were lucky with the game and how everything."
Whatever fans, call is this
United-
is dog.
not
we
even.
were all like,
Yeah.
we were watching the game and we were having the analysis. and
Yeah,
we were
but then
trying to-
it's like, what my point is, it could have made for a better spectacle if the ref hadn't
The
given.
thing is, like,
If
we
the
can't
ref-
say ifs in
Yeah.
football.
Well,
Like,
if
what's
the ref-
happened happened.
okay, what happened?
Most likely, Arsenal would have won, but would never
Okay,
know
yeah.
now.
And
But
okay, so after
It's
the
like saying if United, our goal had been allowed, the goal had stood against Brighton, then we would have
they
won.
might not have won.
okay, case in
So
point.
before you move on to the rest of your review of last week, we're on referee discussions. What do you think about Eze's goal being disqualified? Eze,
Chelsea. I think it was fair.
That was in
a
the
fair
first. That was in
ruling.
the first
Crystal
week.
Palace. The
Crystal
free kick.
Palace, I guess.
Was that in the first week?
That was in game week 2, I think.
That was not in game week 3.
No. That was in the second Palace game.
Well, never
But
mind.
yeah, Arsenal played. I think after we
That was
went
against West Ham.
down to 10 men,
That was
we
against
played.
West Ham.
After we went
think
down
so,
to
yeah.
10 men, we played quite well. And previously, maybe Arsenal, pre-Arteta's period, if it was under Wenger, we most likely, maybe not most likely, but we likely would have lost
And it was also like home
a game like that against Brighton, being with the way how Brighton played, being front-footed and everything. And looking
I
forward,
also feel like you guys playing at home also helped because it was a.
I mean, it
After
definitely
the
did,
red
and
card, I thought Brighton
we
would
had
win.
a couple chances to win the game,
But they also
we
had a
didn't.
couple
we
Like, it
didn't-
was almost equal. But then, like, I feel like it was up for grabs. Any one of them could have won. But the red cards definitely. But that's
Yeah, it
football.
changed-
It's
it
part
changed-
of the game.
Yeah,
that's
it
why it's
definitely
there.
changed the dynamic of the game. And looking forward to the Tottenham game, we've got, I think Calafiori got injured against France, and yesterday Odegaard was
like that's the
injured.
major
So
And I
it's
think
going.
Timber is still a doubt.
Yeah, so it's Arteta has a huge decision to make with the squad,
So
and
probably Jesus starts.
if he's fit, because that
Because
nigga.
Havertz dropped.
Because he's
just
out.
back
I
to-
mean,
to
he's on
10,
the
no?
injured. He's on the injured list. The injured
Yeah,
list.
and
He's on the
yeah,
injured
so
list,
it makes for
And
a
Rice is
real-
out.
on one hand, I think it's a good. It might be a good thing because it makes us unpredictable in that. Ange not know wetin Arteta get for conjure up in the
good
game
thing is
against the.
Tottenham
But
not in a good place right now.
yeah, and also.
And
but-
Arsenal used to for beat themselves.
Yeah, but the thing is with Arsenal Tottenham games, most times the home team they win the game there.
You're going away, bro.
Yeah, and that's the common theme with North London derbies. So yeah, we'll see. I the hope say, I think we'll win. At worst, I think we'll get a draw. But yeah, man. And
the league depends sleep. I'm just saying, like,
they sleep out
I
of
had
the
Arsenal win in the league, obviously on Monday at Watocam, but then little thing there they make it slip away. Like,
Yeah.
it affects however you
no,
try to
definitely.
be like.
And
like
I mean,
Odegaard,
for me, to
it's
be honest
crazy.
as well, like another thing that I believe would affect you guys from my observation, because I've watched all your 3 games, and I think one thing I've done this year, and I think I'm going to continue with that, is also try to focus on, like, especially rival teams, look at their strengths and put that in contrast with our team as well, and just to see how we're progressing. And when you look at City, they're very dynamic and very fluid with their attack, and it's not as one-sided as Arsenal. For you guys, it's predictable,
Very left.
very predictable.
I mean,
On the right,
right.
on
Sorry.
the right. If you're able to keep Odegaard and Saka, because even if you look at Odegaard and Saka, between them all two, their combinations, the way they're able to like play and manipulate defenders and create chances, and then the right wing favors both players because they're both left-footed. So if you're able to control the pressure on the left wing, you can easily be able to, like, honestly, probably in defense, the only thing that would help you in defense is Saliba at the back. And that was one thing Brighton did very well, to be honest, against you guys. And I think I still want you guys to win the league, because I wouldn't want.
You want me Arsenal win the league?
To be honest, I want Arsenal to win the league over City.
No,
to be
as
honest.
a United fan.
Yeah.
He's probably choosing the lesser evil, or
Exactly.
because
That's
Man
the
City
thing.
win the league.
I'm choosing a fifth time.
Honestly,
It will be 6 in 7
honestly,
years, but then 5
as
in a row.
person we grew up in Salon, if I was given the option, say for me Tottenham
Boy.
Tottenham win the next 5 leagues or United, I'll choose Tottenham.
Bro,
Instead-
I hate
I understand
you guys.
what you're doing.
Instead of waiting, but yeah, I get
Man
Tottenham.
City fans, they know that Boku for make una feel.
For make you feel
Or you
like
look at
that,
the
yeah.
integrity of the league.
I look at the not
feel
just
like that's
the
already
integrity
down
of
the
the
beginning
league.
because of
I
how-
am in Sierra Leone, but I'm a Manchester United fan. So any kind of way that rivalry with City, it's
I
there.
should say you know more Arsenal fans than you know Man City
Yeah,
fans.
obviously.
I could count the City fans.
That's the way you know.
And I'm
But
not
yeah, I
really
get
bothered
it.
about them, because it's just a few of them and they can't
Like
really
5
do
in a row
anything.
would be
But
crazy.
5 in a row for City,
That's
I
like,
mean, bro.
Alright.
The 4 in a row, you would expect like somewhere down the line in the future, another team will topple that or probably equal that. But 5 in a row, then Sam, I just don't.
Alright.
Especially due to the fact that Sir Alex never did that, yeah?
That's all of that. All that comes into
And if
play.
Freeman Pep no, if
It's
Pep
like
stays-
basically dominating the league. Like
You think
this
say if
league.
Pep stay in the EPL long enough and go wipe out everything Sir Alex ever do?
Yes.
Long enough.
No,
Or
yeah,
as long as
definitely. You know,
Alex at least.
on that day moving
He's
on to-
only won 1 UCL with Man City, so probably there's.
with cup competition a quite different. But yeah, since we're on Man City right now, how they play. The last game was against
Ipswich?
West
Not
Ham.
Ipswich,
Okay, West Ham. Figure it out.
West Ham, and they looked really well against I don't know how
You know-
Man,
you know
I don't know
what's-
how Man
And
City.
I'm not team able to stop Man City.
I don't know how-
You know
How
what's
Super.
crazy? Previously, in previous seasons, Man City were known for starting the league very slow. But this season has been like.
Sa-
it's been
Do you
quite
think they're going? Okay, now you're worried about Sir Alex's legacy, United legacy back in the day when they were the,
And it's not
350.
just the legacy as well. I'm also putting that into contrast with
Right.
our team.
That's fine. I want
Like,
to ask him a
ask you a
question.
question, yeah.
Do you think he's going for the invisible? Because he's had 100 points, yes?
He may be,
And
but
they can do it.
forgo
This Man City team,
forgo
who do you think,
invincible right
off
now.
the top of your head,
I feel like
who do you
that's-
think can stop Man
in
City
this
from
current
winning on their
league-
day?
No, from winning, I don't think say waiting, but forgo invincible. Forgo invincible.
You can
now.
draw and go invincible.
Yeah, but
So they just don't
but
need to lose.
certain,
Exactly.
but certain.
So who do you think can beat Man City?
I know what I mean take away from
Whose injury do you think can affect them?
Please wait, Dominic. I know what I mean take away from we
we played Man
invincibility.
City.
I know what I mean take away from we invincibility because we draw games.
Not Boku game.
No, like what?
But it's still not lost game.
What? Invincible is invincible.
Yo,
Like,
I
it's
know,
still
I know,
a feat,
I know,
yes?
I know, make you do this.
No, I still give you
no,
guys.
no,
credit.
it's like
I mean,
it's time
you
for
guys
take
still
away
have it.
right now because we
I
draw
mean, you're the
games.
only English side to have done it.
No.
So you still have that.
Talk Anande without a caveat. I don't need you for out there. It's like you diminish we out and color. And then
Hey,
no.
man, calm down. But then on a serious note, sorry. We're going to not play it, yes?
Nah, imagine.
And
Then
Foden,
starts the
Foden
season,
back
and
up
then-
late.
It's fine. Foden didn't start.
Foden has played.
They don't play, but in
But the last game, you not play.
Savio they play very well right now.
But he didn't play well
They
against
start
West
the
Ham,
season without the thought, say, Gondo and they come, and they don't come. So it's almost like an added weapon. Because they start, they're not be thinking they come. All be thinking they game about stuff like
Okay,
that.
so on that day,
Man City might do it.
on your point, City, why I not think say City will go invincible. The goal where Ipswich score against them. Down in Ipswich, imagine like when
You see how they react?
yeah, but still, yeah.
So that make what you
against
achieve
a better
top
side, I can't imagine say Liverpool go 1-up against City, then get for allow City
Liverpool will
for
beat
play
City to
for play that kind of way they how
It
they play.
depends.
And
City
also
is
No, I have my-
and also too,
I
you
support Joe
mentioned
saying.
then two wingers there, Savio and Doku.
Doku.
They might be good, but I don't think still they're able to maintain that high level there
Throughout the season.
throughout the season.
That's why
And
Grealish
if-
good. They obviously it's
and
not as
even-
good to start.
yeah, even with-
Foden go come.
Yeah,
But even
I
against,
still think
against
say, I
West
still
Ham,
think say,
against West Ham, Savio struggled.
yeah, this might be a stretch, but I also think say
Savio struggle.
City not look as strong.
As-
As
2 seasons ago.
this
No, I feel
this
like-
will be completely
No.
waiting by the second half of the season where something
I
like
feel-
they're not going on 19-game winning streak, but as of right now, based off of the chances they were see, where I don't see that they concede.
What's nice
But
good
then
for
what
you
you're
guys,
saying,
if it's
the
if
thing
it's
that
the
you're saying
Champions League
about
affects
them
them.
not looking as strong, I mean, I think you're not taking into consideration that this is not even their strongest team because Rodri is not there.
Exactly.
Rodri is not there, so you could clearly tell like his absence is.
And they have a
showing.
young, like
And
somebody
then
who starts
even-
for the first time.
Even at right
we're
back,
very
Nico
good
Lewis.
right now.
Because even against, I see your point.
Oscar
I
Bob
understand
injured,
when you
you
look
know,
at
he's not
the
even
Ipswich
playing.
goal, and even against West Ham. Sorry, I have the flu. West Ham had chances as well, especially in counter. Kudus had
They just
a
not
few
take their chances
yeah.
back. So you see that they
West Ham
allow
had chances.
chances.
So yeah, they might concede, but can he outscore City? That's the thing.
Definitely
You might score
not.
2.
Then
but
get-
No, I
might-
feel like
then get
I
Haaland.
honestly think Liverpool, the same effect that Klopp had over City.
Klopp
Looking
over-
at even with
over
Ancelotti, it's
Liverpool.
basically the same team, just that.
Yeah.
Except if he tries to go toe
you
to toe with
almost
City.
notice the transition like that.
So
Really
in
look
terms
good
of
right
if
now.
they approach the way they've been approaching against City, basically, but like we were saying earlier, Ancelotti has been emphasizing more on this being more not compact, but also being very patient with build-up. And,
on that day.
so if they try to go toe to toe with City on that, then City would murder them. But if they go with the old tactics, then they will cause City problems.
Okay, so on that, I think for continuing the conversation on Liverpool, we've got a question from Grand. He's an artist. Shout out to Grand.
On Instagram, on YouTube.
On Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the question is, thoughts on Liverpool's new manager and slot, his approach, player development so far, and overall team prediction for the season. I think the player development, since we're only 3 seasons in,
You can't say much about
3
that.
games
Can't
in,
really tell.
sorry, we can't really tell. And for the thoughts on the new manager, his approach, and overall team prediction, I think I'll start with you, Kami. What do you think about?
Like I said just now, like a minute ago, you almost didn't notice the difference between Klopp. Like, lucky for him, he meets most of Klopp in core players: Salah, Trent, Robertson, Van Dijk. So it's like the same thing, right? Oh, and Dom raised another good point. They're very patient now. That they be sure before they try something. And Dandy knock can mostly be a good thing in football, but in the work for them right now. Another thing, the team very...
Why? More expert on it?
Well, me and Real Madrid coach, I believe in for express yourself a lot. Like, Nadandi, they bring out individual quality, just goalable come up from anywhere, like you get. But if you are more conservative, they watch, like, they afraid for do passes, stuff like that, you might be a bit more predictable. But then Liverpool good right now. Another good thing that's working for him, it's Salah is, I don't know how they use Salah. Yeah, Salah don't score in almost every game.
On that day, I think because he had a rest over the summer, and because he not play international tournaments, so he get
So he had a
proper
he had a
rest.
full
If you look at
Yeah.
if you look at Premier League right now, the very top performers, Haaland, Salah, and a
Players
few
who-
other
players
now,
who
man they
actually
will
had
not
a
play
pre-season.
over the summer, they get proper rest and waiting. But yeah, continue
Yeah.
with you.
Also, I mean, it might also be a new manager bounce, but he's winning games, and you can't fault anybody, whether not luck, whether not a new manager, but you can't fault anybody for just like doing the job. And yeah, he don't play United in our one big game. I don't know when the next big game they come, but if during this time,
Yeah.
he able win them games, then they by January maybe then go don't get in own identity. But like now we supposedly get in own it, it's still maybe they use from the past
I think,
club in
like-
they still win.
If I can intercept you there, I think it would be difficult for him to be able to like instill his own identity
With old
right
players.
now, because this Liverpool team, let's say 100% of this team, because how many players have Liverpool? They haven't signed anyone for him aside from Chiesa, and the player that they signed for him is just squad depth backup. And then they had one goalkeeper. I think they've already signed Alisson's replacement, the best goalkeeper at the Euros,
From Georgia, yeah.
yeah, and then they signed one teenage starlet. So I feel like what we're going to see until the end of the season, we're just going to see like a same template to
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp.
And for
And
the
I
Go on.
think if I can I go on
yeah.
from
I mean,
No,
for
yeah.
we can
One more
transition from
point.
Liverpool to
for
United.
for like the
No, no.
prediction for the season, I think the first episode I predicted they would be third. I still feel the same, depending on Arsenal's injury history.
so if I can if I can
Okay,
continue
please,
there,
wait, please
because-
hold on, Dominic. So, Camilo, get your thoughts on Liverpool and how they're playing. Dominic, if you can briefly touch on Liverpool and team play, your thoughts on how then they play this season, and briefly talk on a game with the trash on a 3-0, and you say una play fine according to and una dominates.
I didn't say we dominate.
Una not dominates that game day.
Because I mean, looking at
But
the
it's
fact,
But yeah. Just briefly talk on.
I can't say
briefly
we
talk.
dominated
Briefly talk
because
on
we've had a
Liverpool.
very-
Liverpool dominating Una.
no, they did not.
Okay,
dominate
just
us.
Danny, and
So don't use the
also
word.
I think Una gets Southampton next game,
Yeah.
and Southampton did not play quite well the first 3 games.
Would you say quite well?
No.
Bro?
Not
Be
well.
honest.
Well, the style of okay. I think okay.
Results-wise, or
No, not results-wise, but performance. No, wait. Performances they've played okay because they're similar to how Burnley played last season under company where then just come up. But they seem as Burnley, not for once for
They're
left
making a
their,
whole lot of
they're not for left
individual
their
mistakes.
style of play. They're not for able for adapt to the Premier League right now. So, just your thoughts on the Liverpool United game and what do you think they get for happening against Southampton?
So I think my thoughts, if I could take back from what Camille was saying about Liverpool, pretty much, I think if Ancelotti had taken over last season, because as you and I were having a conversation earlier, I think Liverpool prepared for this, even before it was announced that Klopp was going to leave.
yeah.
Because when you look at the players that they signed, because mind you, the season before, they had one of their worst seasons on the club as well. They finished 8th. And pretty much what affected them that season was because they lost most of their, club system is very intense. The way he presses and the way he runs with counters and all of that. So you realize that when Fabinho, Anderson, all those players were already not being able to perform at the levels required, they struggled that season. And you realize that last year they brought in 4 midfielders. And then if you look at their ages, aside from Endo, who was just like a short-term fix because they needed a 6. So Szoboszlai, 23, Gravenberch, 22. I can't remember who else.
Yeah.
And so if you look at those players that they brought in last year, they're the ones who are now starting,
Okay.
in the team, and McAllister.
Okay, so on United, how you think they wanna
So
play?
I feel like against us with United, like I told you, I wouldn't say dominated because of the conversation we had in the group. Dominating has there are different caveats to it. United played well. Liverpool. The funny thing is both teams played basically the same tactics: 4-2-4 off the ball press and all, and then similar issues were prevalent with the two teams. But I think what affected United was this has to do with I think a structural set up off the ball when we're pressing. We want to press with a 4-2-4 as Liverpool does, but the difference between the two teams now, Liverpool, when they press with the 4-2-4, their players, they're more intense. They were more intense than our players, and also their defenders would back up the press. Whereas with United, I think that is something Ten Hag needs to tweak or work on. Because last season, I would understand, because you cannot try and keep a high line with Evans and Maguire.
Okay.
But now we have very aggressive players that are capable of defending wide channels. And you have Lisandro Martinez and Delete.
Oh no, they beat Southampton.
Allow me. So I think that was what, because when we lost the ball with Casemiro, so the best side.
What do you think about him? Do you think he should be
he needs
in the starting lineup still?
No, he doesn't need to be in the starting. So even before the Liverpool game,
for the Saudi.
So even before the Liverpool game, I agree with him. Before the season, we were saying that he needs to move, because I think the league is more intense and he can't keep up. And then also before the Liverpool game, in our fan forum, I was saying to United fans that Casemiro needs to be helped, and one way we can help him is by bringing someone else in.
Ugarte.
No, I wasn't necessarily saying Ugarte, because even if you look at last season, one of our biggest games at the end of the season against Man City, Casemiro was left out. And
the funny thing is, against Liverpool he was bad, but the game before he was very good.
He was very good on the ball, but off the ball the issues were.
So
I believe that he should be reduced his minutes and then give him a helper. So even if we're playing with, because I was telling you, the season before when Casemiro had a very good season, he had Fred playing next to him in a double pivot.
Okay.
So it's either you play him as an 8, and then you have Ugarte playing as a 6, because you know Real Madrid.
Casemiro as 8.
Casemiro as 8, Ugarte.
That's interesting. But
because off the ball.
For me, right? I think he's very bad right now at
United,
because his responsibility. He's been asked to do things he was not doing at Real Madrid. Real Madrid, his role was very specific. He was a destroyer. He was like caught passing lanes. But now you're asking him to build play. So you're asking him to link defense and
you're getting it wrong.
Midfield. So and he was not doing any of that.
So you're getting it wrong. If you look at you're the 6, you're the CDM. So if in gameplay, in certain conditions, if you're the only one who's available and all the other players have been marked, the ball will be played to you. And that was.
So on that, do you not think it's a structural issue for United, being that Casemiro isn't good on the ball, and he hasn't been. He has never been that player, even for Madrid. Do you not think it's a structural issue for Man United, being that Ten Hag knows this, he knows the qualities Casemiro has, but then he still puts him in situations where he's the lone.
No, I think it would not be fair for you to say it's a structural. It wasn't set up to fail. So that's the one thing. And if you see, United have been pursuing the CDM.
No, we can't go over that.
Because I'm just trying to say it's not a structural issue.
On a final thoughts on United before moving on, I think. What are your thoughts on the Southampton game briefly, and let's get a prediction from you.
I believe looking at Southampton's their form and how they've been playing, and to be honest, United having back all their players back from the internationals, back fitter, because the first 3 games you could tell that most of the players were not yet fit properly because most missed pre-season, and we're playing 2 games in the internationals and coming back, I think, and now they need to. We've lost 2 games on a bounce, so they really need to step up, and I think we're going to win. It's just like what happened 2 seasons ago, losing, and then we had Southampton, we won.
Personally, I defeat Southampton because as an Arsenal fan,
I think United win, but United can be United.
I don't think you've watched them. I don't think any team that the league don't make
as much mistakes as them. Yeah. I need to say they're very good team.
They lost 3-1 to Brentford away.
No, I'm not saying they're a good team. They're very well. Okay,
lost 1-0 home to Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
And the first game they lost 1-0 away. to
Okay,
Newcastle.
so they've had 2 1-0 losses and a 3-1 loss to Brentford.
Yes.
The 1-0 losses could be explained to individual mistakes and
The first-
fine margins, basically.
The first 1-0 loss, they almost drew or won
Yeah,
when
so-
Newcastle had a red card.
My point on that is, like Burnley last season, they seem unable to move away from their philosophy. In that, I think they need to adapt their system to, because they're definitely going to be the underdogs in most games they play this season. So, in playing like the underdog, you need to play like the underdog instead of pressing forward and thinking you have the best team in the league. You have to, some introspection is nice, because create no yourself, not of course.
So me, I think
Nah,
the one
good
thing
rating,
when
but-
I watch them,
but
the
yeah.
one thing where I think I talk on a group where like it's, I mean, it gets back to, I wouldn't say, I don't want to curse, but I mean, it really gets to me. The fact that like most of these native like English teams, they're losing their tradition, their identity. They're all trying to now play from the back. And
Pep
you've
love
done
win
it,
the game,
the
Pep love win the
pepification,
game.
as you said the last time. They've done it, the same mistakes. It was like when we had the gear, the
If you can't do
goalkeeper.
it, you can't do it.
Anyways,
the
yeah,
goalkeeper, the goalkeeper.
for put a knock on Andy. Moving,
Man City, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea gets
moving
Bournemouth.
on. Yeah, Chelsea. Well, we'll briefly talk on Chelsea. Chelsea obviously gets a civil war type shit going on, right now. For those that aren't aware, they have an issue with their ownership group.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw Bowley is
Yeah.
thinking of selling his stake.
So basically, what's going on is
Okay.
when they bought the club from Roman Abramovich, it was twofold. It was Clear Lake, powered by some Igbali guy, I've forgotten his name, and then Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley has 1/3 of the stakes of Chelsea right now, and Clear Lake, they've got 2/3.
Well, I thought Bully actually owned that.
No. So he's got
Maybe he's
1/3.
just
He's got
involved in
1/3.
the-
He's got
I
I think
1/3.
he's been the
decision.
face of the
Yeah, so part of the issue right now, I think, has been when news come out about Chelsea, their transfer dealings and other things, Bowley has been made to look like the face of these transfer dealings.
brain behind
yeah,
the
but
mastermind,
according to some of the articles I've read, it hasn't been that case, because he's been against some of the decisions that have been made. But clearly, they basically have different ideas of the direction they want Chelsea to go in. And right now, there's a clash of ideas.
It would be fine if Coco they are.
Yeah, so right now I'm thinking Bowley one for buyout, Clear Lake one for buyout, Bowley. Yeah, so they're saying Bowley need for fan money for fund buying out Clear Lake. Clear Lake, they're already getting money for buyout Chelsea. So that's
crazy.
yeah, it's a messy
As
situation.
a rival fan, these are things that actually
Entertainment,
makes me
eh?
happy.
It's a messy situation, and for briefly talk on Chelsea, last game I think then draw.
I don't even think the coach needs, like,
Then
people
the goal-
don't understand how these things actually
Then the draw
affect it.
against Crystal Palace, which was a close game.
Yeah,
it was a good game for Palace because I think Palace had previously lost their
games.
not even this season, but in relation to Chelsea, they had lost their previous 4 meetings at Stamford Bridge, so they needed to get something.
That game, was it at Stamford?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
was.
was.
They needed to get something
I thought
out
it
of
was
this
at
game
Palace.
because from Premier League history, Chelsea they're able Palace, so they needed Palace. Be need for get something out of this game, and they managed to. And obviously,
Spurs.
I am no so. Apologies to any Palace fan where they listening right now,
Palace
but for briefly talk on Chelsea and well the context of Salon, we'll get more Chelsea fans in our Salon. Then get Bournemouth next, and I don't know which are our thoughts on that game day. Personally, I think Bournemouth, they've been a very good team. I think so last season they finished 10th, and they've got a really good manager in Iraola. Being that the way how they play their football, it's constructive from the back, and even though they don't lost Solanke, there was a near miss last week against, I think it was Everton.
Everton.
Yeah, where then come back from 2 goals down.
Bro, that game was crazy.
Than they not ever.
I think by the 82nd minute, it was 83rd minute, it was 2-0 for Everton.
Yeah, so for Kanto, you can be. What do you think of Chelsea? How did they do so? How did they do the last game? And maybe you share your thoughts on the next fixture.
Chelsea, the games that I was impressed, I should say, Una Siena group, I share my thoughts for say, Dom, you remember, I share my thoughts say that they impressed me, that they do very, very well. But then, obviously, a game is 90 minutes. It's not just first half. They could not hold on the dominance and everything, and then Crystal Palace won. Crystal Palace now also good team, but I don't know. Me, one for believe say they go able to beat Bournemouth, even though not away that they play this trip. Maybe I think say they go on for set things right this match day, yeah, at least.
Okay, all right. I think that's about it. And also, so moving on, the next part of the show now, European football, Champions League. For those of you that aren't aware, over the last, I think it was last week, there was the Champions League draw, and if you aren't aware, there's a new format right now. It's called the Swiss. It's called the Swiss model, and basically a brief rundown of how the model get for go. It's a league format, like the Premier League or any other league, European league, and all the teams they get for dinner that league day, and each team they play 8 games, and all the games are now against a different team.
Yeah.
Play 4 away, 4 home.
Yeah, 4 away games and 4 home games. And so then they get for happen, and how the qualification get for go. The top 8 sides in the league, now then they get automatic qualification to the round of 16. And from 9th place to 24, they get for the teams that will finish from 9th to 24, they get for compete in a playoff.
I think a one-off match.
Yeah,
playoff
no,
with
I
other
think
team.
it's
a leg.
Yeah, both home and away.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that, and then they go choose from that day the balance 8 teams there. We go compete in the round of 16. Get for.
So that means they're going to play the playoffs in January.
Yes.
More or less.
And
meaning Champions League not get break it. You know, say from group stage there's a long break until February.
Yeah.
Now
and
maybe short break good day, but it's.
Yeah, but UCL games are going to be in January, and also one other addition to Champions League this season is that they're going to be Thursday games, as opposed to previous seasons when
they're going to be UEFA games on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
which is,
yeah. So
the culture is dying. We know Tuesday
when
and
it was just
for
Tuesday,
UCL football.
Yeah, it was just
which I think is just crazy. Man.
So also
previously,
it's Super League all over again.
Previously, we did Champions League. You know, say if you go away on Wednesday, they game day on Sunday. So now if you're going to play on Thursday,
Thursday,
different.
and league game might be on Friday if you're unlucky, or Saturday.
The best they can do for you now.
And it depends where you travel. So if you travel Friday for travel back, you obviously don't train that day that you travel. Sorry?
So you wouldn't even train on Friday.
Right.
Oh yeah, because you can attend for
Saturday you can't either because you have to play on Sunday.
So you get for affects Boku
Yeah,
teams,
so
especially teams that compete for league titles. Injuries they get past. Already don't begin show. Champions League not started. Injuries they don't come. Injury like international football and all of that.
Yeah. So on that day, if you're wondering why UEFA choose for scrap the old league format, one of the reasons is the competitiveness of the group stage. I'm sure some of we don't notice
the last Super League.
No, but the last few years of Champions League matches, you'd notice one team. If you support, I don't know, Madrid or Barca, you will notice one team. Okay, for an example would be Man City. Yeah, Man City don't play Atletico Madrid. I think
Madrid Man City don't play 3 times in a row.
Yeah, so that is a part of the reason why UEFA choose for move away from the
Joe. I don't think that's
from the old model.
Because that might again happen. Like
no. That was
because that has been
no. That was this.
Champions League,
this is what they talk so now. Part of now the reason given by UEFA, like in the official statements, and then also another reason was the diversity of the teams, because with the old formats, one team will only play three teams there, and with this one team get for play 8 teams. So it makes for greater diversity and better jeopardy in the competition, because because they play with this format. You're going to play 2 top teams. You're going to play teams from every pot, and pot 1.
There might all be top teams because how they differentiate the pots is pot 1 are mainly league winners.
Yeah.
The only league winner that was not in pot 1 is Bayer Leverkusen, which I don't know why.
Because look this season.
Now Bayern then puts the
They were in pot 2.
Bayern in pot 2.
Leverkusen.
Exactly. Pot 1, Madrid will win the league today. City will win the league today. PSG will win the league today. Inter Milan will win the league today.
It might be down to
Atalanta, were they not in pot 1?
No, they're in pot 2.
Exactly. And Leverkusen will win Bayern the German league. I don't know why they're not.
So that was something that didn't make sense because
where I did explain to somebody, I wanted to explain the same thing, say pot 1, because previously from Champions League.
I don't know if I stand to be corrected on this. It might be down to the,
is it the
past
UEFA coefficient?
No,
yeah, the past,
yes,
the past
it's performance and I think stature
rating.
as well.
Yeah, so
but the fixtures come in, you play 2 teams from each pot.
Yeah.
So if you did pot 1, you face 2 teams from pot 1. Then you face 2 teams from pot 2, 2 teams from pot 3. So you might not only face all the good teams that are in pot 1, you might face the 2 best teams in pot 1. You might face the other 2 best or worst teams. But an AI they choose, and also AI they choose which games will be away, which games will be home, because you can't play 2 teams twice now in the group stage at least. Things like that.
So yeah, on that day, so for match day 1, we've got some exciting fixtures. I think one of
when is it kicking off again?
Next week.
Next week.
The
So
16th.
no, the 17th. Match week 1 they start on the 17th of September. I'm thinking.
Yeah, there are games on the 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yeah, and
I think United were playing on the 9th.
for exciting fixtures, I'm looking at the fixtures now. Also, we're not talking about United.
I feel so saying
Europa
Champions League, you're Uncle United for.
United in Europa League, so I don't know.
The
Maybe
final
the
game-
last part of the final 2 minutes of the episode we'll touch on it.
It's good.
For the Champions League, match day 1, the most exciting fixture I can see right now.
Arsenal Atalanta for me. I
That's
thought it
a
was
good
AC
fixture.
Milan Liverpool, but then I saw Arsenal Atalanta.
AC Milan Liverpool gets European heritage to that day.
True.
Yes.
In that case, yes.
But the
then
funny
it's
thing,
most
there's like
exciting.
different teams, the players, the younger players, and the culture is a bit different.
Man City, Inter Milan is a good
have
game.
been away from the Champions League.
Yeah, but then he's right, like heritage, like the fans. Liverpool don't win 6, no? AC Milan don't win 7. They're like, the 2 teams
That's a good
behind.
game. And also Man City, Inter Milan. I think 2 seasons ago, City win the Champions League against
Okay, Man
Inter Milan.
City, Inter, okay, yeah.
So there might be some bad blood on Inter side.
PSG
And they
Girona
won
might be
They
good.
won for me.
Girona beat a very good season last year. They almost got second, but they end
I
up third.
honestly don't see you guys winning at Atalanta. I'll tell you this. Not to like rivals,
How much
like
you get?
18 thing, but I just don't think you.
How much you get?
One, you're going to be without most of your players.
Now they the bank on.
Atalanta go.
Atalanta
They win
very
Europa last
stubborn. They're
season.
not just good, they're stubborn.
Like I know we say we struggle for win Super Cup
And you
against them, but
said
then
also on our
put
coach.
up. But you know,
it's
Arsenal
one-
go.
apart from the play on the right
Yo.
hand side, it's one way. If the plan A doesn't
If now
work,
one thing I'm not worried about, now the fact say we are one of the best out of possession teams there at the world. So regardless of whose
that's
team
why
we
I didn't
meet,
say you'd lose. I say you'd.
regardless
you'd
of
win
whose
the game.
team we meet, I feel as though we get a good structure in place
Aston Villa they
for
play.
combat any other
Young
team.
boys, I think
Oh
so,
yeah,
anyway.
Aston Villa back
He
in the
beat
time.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa young boys.
Yeah, like away to young boys.
Yeah, but then
Emery get too much.
Emery don't
Emery
win
get too
last
much
year.
experience
What if
for
you
making
say happy
them.
last year? Where affected them last year? They were in Europe last year. Last season. One of the things that affected them was, well, these players are the first.
No. Dandy, why I think so waiting affects them was
They
that
lost to Leon.
No, not to Dandy happen. I'm thinking what
I
affected
need to
them.
keep happy, but I mean,
No, what affected them
they're
last
not
year?
the underdogs. Definitely not the underdogs.
What affected
Yeah,
them
they're
last
not
year
the-
was
Exactly.
that the game they lost, I think it was in the quarterfinals or round of 16, they were also chasing 4th position in the Premier
think
League.
so?
Yes, so they needed to. Well, it might have also been a situation wherein the players they've got, they're not experienced
So-
enough to play
because
European
European football is
competitions.
different.
Because it's
Yeah,
different.
that's my belief.
The mental toll on players.
Liverpool, Milan. Who do you all think? I think Liverpool.
Okay.
So I think Juventus will win.
Liverpool, Milan.
will win. Bayern will win. Madrid will win.
Okay.
Madrid, it depends if Stuttgart play low block right now. Then I would seem crazy.
City will win. PSG would win. PSG Girona. It's
PSG Girona.
crazy.
It's 9 talk. Girona good.
Two identical systems, basically.
Exactly.
Enrique possession.
Girona
and
very
Girona
good.
There's an
team.
argument to be had. Say, this season Paris without Mbappe, they've been playing better.
Yeah.
Better because I think
The kid Bakura is his
they
name.
lost
Is very
score.
good.
I think so the first game now been 3-1. Second game not was 6-0 they win.
It might be early again, but then again, the thing about having players like Mbappe, it's games like Champions League. You know, having that, as much as you can say these big players where they can go, the team go able to play together.
You need X factor players.
Exactly, players that will able to decide game.
That's true.
And low say them face team like Man City or
Yeah,
Liverpool.
you need that defense.
You not get that one player we able just change the whole game on the back, and Mbappe able to do that. You see what in the World Cup final.
That's
Definitely.
But
But I mean,
I also do believe that last year, I don't think PSG get the best out of Mbappe last year.
there was this whole drama
There
of
was this
him
whole
leaving.
drama, and then
all
he
that
was
thing.
playing as a centre forward.
Yeah, and you know like that day.
yeah, I mean
Although not they still in the play now, but at least for me in the game more freedom now.
Mbappe
And
is
he's happier. I feel like
Because
he's
one of the
happier
we talk
now,
about
yeah.
freedom, one of the things, basically they ain't guy they were in these tactics heavy, like Enrique is there. You're restricted within the system. Whereas at Madrid now you say your coach,
Yeah.
it's not that much about the
Okay.
tactics but the freedom.
But the whole UCL, obviously I just go with, like I did do now like a prediction the whole UCL. I feel like every year Real Madrid will always be a favorite. It's not, I wouldn't just outrightly say would win it because teams are good. Man
one
City
of
is good.
favorites. Yeah.
I feel like Madrid, Man City are the only two teams I can clearly say are favorites. Like they will be there regardless.
one
And
of them would
then
be
Barca, I don't
Paris.
think they will do much. I don't know. They do very well right now in the league, but Champions League is different. Arsenal injury for I don't know.
But
Injury they can make I think different about Arsenal a lot because I not see una perform it without Odegaard, without Declan Rice, with a red card. We will see. I feel like then two predictions and then I get for now.
That's
Coming.
that's
You don't
fair.
think, say,
What do you think Sega for win, Dominic?
But ask me a
You don't think,
question.
so I'll ask him a question.
Okay.
You don't think say Ansel Flick being the coach for Barcelona also will make them better in the Champions League? You don't think so?
So I think saying they make them better as a club, the mentality is that guy then a winner. It demand that they beat 4-0 in Ismail self. Barca don't then get this, they're very mediocre, they're very something we don't know this, they're okay if they beat Madrid. Once they beat Madrid, like they can't last in La Liga. Once Madrid can 19. they're
Barca
very
fans
okay.
say for camp
No,
for
so
you
they
for
do, like, but Hansi Flick, like I feel like saying they get very positive changes to the team.
Briefly on Flick, yeah, before we move on to Ballon d'Or candidates, I see it cancel the tunnel fits from Barcelona.
The tunnel fits like how?
Like, you know, in NBA, we players,
Oh, the car with the
with the
young
different
guys.
clothes, yeah, you don't need for wearing the waiting. That nigga, they don't cancel. Like, they don't cut down the, they all for wearing
So
uniform right
basically
now.
the whole Kunde swag fashion
Imagine,
every
that's-
game.
That's funny.
That nigga lost to football
We're going to
culture.
miss
No,
that.
I like that thing that tunnel
Yeah, me,
because
Kunde-
Madrid no get on.
Kunde,
We can look good, but then for home games, we only go on training ground. Valdebebas, boss car with we in with trainers.
On that day, I think,
nah.
well, just this is just
And then away games we wear suits. I think first we were dressed by boss, a Hugo Boss suit. Now we're dressed by another fashion line, but we dress good. But I can't want me player than dress how they want.
briefly on that day, yeah, I just feel like it's taken away from the individuality of players and like with how football league goes right now, I think it's good. It's not a bad thing for make players they want for express themselves, whether now on the field or off the field. And also there's the notion say players, their activities, they're off the field, they affect their on-field
The
performance.
interview Kunde, I see
Which
it quotes
I
bottom.
don't think
Yeah,
say I don't
Kunde
think
is
say
smart and
I don't think say that they
expression,
correct
yeah.
because it's just stereotypes and
The man
stuff
literally say,
which
if I dress good, I feel good. If I
Yeah,
feel
so-
good, I play good. If I play good, the fans are happy, I get paid. So
And
they
I'm not
relate
gonna lie,
everything.
Then
to
Kyrie-
us.
I'm not
Really?
gonna lie though, I would always check Barcelona's account just to see.
For them fits there,
Especially
And
his
also
own
see
fits,
something.
yeah.
Hector Bellerin
he walked.
so Kunde could run. Like,
Facts.
because he was the one doing all of that. He started all of that.
Yeah, so I think that's UCL done. And briefly, I think so we don't do more than an hour right now.
So we
Brief,
can just try for
yeah,
round up.
for round up, your takes on the Ballon d'Or nominees You think say
I-
you think say passing day with a snub. Obviously United player not being supposed for
No,
the day.
I'm not talking about United.
But
Always the
you
same
think
thing as
say
United.
you think say player they will be supposed for Dede, we not Dede, or you think say player Dede, oh wait I just said player
Yeah,
Dede
yeah,
we
I'm
not
trying.
supposed for Dede, or player not Dede we supposed for Dede.
Bro,
Can I be honest with you? Yeah? Since the whole Ballon d'Or FIFA thing split,
Yeah.
I think it lost like the
Essence.
prestige that it had. So for me, I really have not been giving much thought into it. And then this year as well, of course, United would not. I don't think we have players that you could say they deserve to be there. So I would not be that type of fan. So I think the only thing for me, I feel who deserves to be there. It doesn't make sense considering everything that he won. But Kami explained something. I think you pointed that out. I think by position. I just
The
feel
amount
like
of forwards that
Rodrigo
should be the amount of.
was someone I'd expect. Well, even if you look at forwards, he deserved to be there ahead of players like maybe Nico Williams because they won.
Not
the
faithful.
Euros.
So Lamine Yamal and Nico.
So,
I'm not saying they should not be there, but they can't be there and nobody good.
But these are the controversies that you get with this.
And get over 20 goals and assists, right? Playing out of position in the first place, winning the Champions League and the league and the Spanish Super Cup, right? Lamine Yamal scored 5 goals in 38 league games.
Okay, I mean
Wesley Sneijder.
with that and finish.
Nico Williams though, but overall I think I feel like Vinny would win it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, who do you think so they win?
Vinny.
Who do you think so they win?
Vinny.
Alright, so for wrap up,
What do you think before you wrap
for me, I give me final thoughts right now. The Ballon d'Or, Saka for win. But if you not win, then I can
Look,
settle.
end the show, yeah.
I can settle for Odegaard. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. Dominic, thank you for your time. Kami, thank you for your time. George, Herbert, Maverick, thank you very much. And to you, the listener, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Catch you next show.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.